Oh, hi, everybody. Welcome to Do You Believe on Paranormal Zone TV. I want to thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And for those who may be new to the show, if you would please subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And please don't forget to give the show a like. So, everybody, we have a great show tonight. I'm welcoming back, let's all welcome back Barry Strohm. These are his books. He is an author, a lecturer, and he channels spirits. Now these are some of his books right here that I'm showing you, and they all can be purchased on Amazon.com. And Barry does have a website. I think it's BarryStrohm.com, Barry?
No, it's there's two of them. One of them is spiritspredict.com, and the other one is wordsofgodthenandnow.com.
Awesome. And these are the two books that we will be using tonight for topics: Aliens Among Us and Spirits Speak of the Universe. So with that, let's welcome Barry to the show. Hey Barry, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Well, thanks for putting up with me.
It's always a pleasure, Barry, always a pleasure. You're so interesting. Now tonight, I show them the two books and that we're going to be talking about tonight and some of the topics out of it. Now, Barry, let me put another image up here. Okay, so Barry, do you have anything else you want to tell the viewers about yourself before we start?
Just that we're going to cover a lot of things that are going to sound very weird to them. And in my previous life, it would have sounded very weird to me, too. I've got a scientific background, civil engineering license, business management degree. Actually, CEO of a company for about 4 years, and didn't even believe in ghosts till I was about 60 years old. And the last thing I ever believed was that I was going to be able to talk to them and communicate like we do now, or that I could even write a book. So it's been an interesting journey, and we've got some new stuff going. I have a YouTube channel myself where we've been posting our live channeling sessions. Started a new series. It's called Speaking to Spirits, and we channel historic figures. I just posted an interview we did with Nostradamus, for instance. We've done Kennedy, Nostradamus, Tesla, a bunch of very interesting historical figures. We did Mary Todd Lincoln. Next week we'll post one with Ben Franklin, and it's really interesting to hear these spirits tell the truth about what really took place during their lives and their accomplishments. So, got a lot of interesting things going on, but nothing as interesting as being with you on your show tonight.
Oh, thanks, Barry. Thank you so much. So, you know, I have this. Okay, these are the two books. I wanted to show you. I have them. Barry sent these to me. These are the two that I have, and these are the ones we're going to be talking about tonight. Can you see that, viewers? Awesome books. They're beautifully written, beautiful inside. They're hardcovers, and they're really, really nice books. All right, so I'm going to keep this one out because I have to ask you about that one. All right, so Barry, let's start with the questions. And also, viewers, if you want to, if you have any questions for Barry, Royce will take them, and I'll give them the okay when to start taking questions from you for Barry, and make sure you put them in caps, okay? All right, so first question to Barry. Barry, how did you start getting information about the aliens?
Well, I never believed in aliens, so I wrote a book called Afterlife, What Really Happens on the Other Side, and while we were writing that book, I started asking the spirit guides that were giving me the information. One night I said, do aliens really exist? The answer comes back, absolutely. So that spurred me on to some more questions, and they would answer them, and all of a sudden one evening they say, we're going to introduce you to a guide that will be able to answer all of your questions because he is one. And I said, is one what? And he said, oh, he was an alien in his last life, and he'd be happy to talk to you. So the next channeling session we do, we're introduced to this spirit guide, and his name is Mu. And as it turns out, he is from another planet on the far reaches of the Milky Way. He was a blue alien, stood about 7.5 feet, and lived to be around 950 of our years in age. And you might ask me why I was able to channel Mr. Mu. as I was to find out, aliens have the same spirit energies that humans do. Now, that one is probably going to upset a few people out there. But one thing that all of my work ties into is the concept of reincarnation, which was something I never believed in before I got involved with this either. I can prove multiple of my prior lives. So I am beyond 100% convinced about reincarnation. And our soul energies have been around since creation, which is a long time ago. Humans have walked the earth for 250,000 years. So ask the question, where have your soul energies been before humans walked the earth? Well, we've all been on other planets prior to that. And because of that, we simply all have the same soul energies. And for that reason, I'm able to channel with dead aliens. It's, I guess if you say it real fast, it sounds kind of simple, but that's why we can do it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Barry, you used to use a board.
Yes.
And what happened that you don't need that spirit? Now, you created that spirit board, didn't you? The one that you and Connie used to use?
Yes, we were taught board channeling by some friends of ours out in Salt Lake City. And they used a circular board, and we asked the guides to design one for us. So they gave us a circular board design, gave us a prayer protection to use with it, and we started off learning how to do board channeling, where they would spell out every word. Some we would do videos of it and then go back and record the letters, and it was really quite a very long process and very difficult. So as Connie and I got better and better at it, I started hearing the words in my head as we were spelling them out. So we reached a point that I would only go to the first letter to verify what the word was. And the guides told me, they said, you don't need the board, you can do this in your head. So I started basically doing all the channeling with the words in my head. So if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll see, and look at what we do, you'll see Connie will ask the questions, and then I actually speak the words of the spirit that we're talking to. And I hear every word, and it's just a matter, I can sit and almost speak as rapidly their words as what we're speaking now. And it's made a huge difference in the information that we can gain. But I now hear everything in my head and can simply repeat the words.
Oh my God, that's... Now what about this understanding the history of human soul energy?
Well, when God creates the universe, actually there was a group of gods create the universe. They combine their energies to do it, but they also have created soul energies, and those soul energies have been around since the beginning. Our universe is basically around 13 billion years of age. Earth is a little over 3 billion. So there's a long history of soul energies have existed before even our planet was invented or created here. So the soul energies have been around for many, many, many years. Now I'm going to take it even a step further, because the book that I'm working on right now, we question them about what happened before our universe was formed 13 billion years ago. And we're told that there was actually a type of universe that existed before the one we now know, and that the gods did not feel that it was capable of progressing to the point that they needed, so they combine all their energies and create the universe that we're in today. But our soul energies actually existed before the creation of this universe. So our souls have had the ability to literally live millions of years of lifetime. So it gets into a little more complicated situation. When you think about what heaven is, and they tell us that heaven has 7 realms, and that the goal of the soul energy is to learn and experience things, to become more godlike and advance through those realms. If you screw up, you go back. They have a lower realm for the really bad guys that they send it to. So for all these billions of years, our soul energies have been living lifetimes on other planets, learning experiences, and trying to advance on the other side. And that's why we find at our current time that there are soul energies that have advanced to the upper level and are on the same level as God. It's been, the more you talk about it, the more weird it sounds. But that's what they tell us, that the progression of soul energies have been through the years.
And now you also talk about soul energies like through reincarnation.
Yeah, reincarnation is absolutely real. Like, for instance, I know that in my prior life, I was a Confederate soldier that fought at Gettysburg. I was told that through my various channeling sessions. They gave me details of where I fought and what took place. And I was born in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is about 30 miles from Gettysburg. And all my life, I've been drawn to the battlefield, and it's because of that prior life situation. I can actually go out onto the battlefield now, and I can communicate with the soldiers that I fought with out there. And they actually have the ability to recognize my soul when I go onto the battlefield. Last year, I was a Confederate captain, and last year I took 4 people out with me with a ghost box where you can hear their voices when they talk. And I took the group of people out, turned on the ghost box, and I said, "Do you guys recognize me?" And everybody in the group heard over the ghost box the words, "Yes, sir, Captain. Good to see you again."
Oh my God.
And I can, I've talked with the different soldiers. I've asked them why they're still there. They're basically getting ready to move on now since it's been over 150 years. But I know that life. I know another one where I was a Lakota Sioux. And it's, that one I can prove. They gave me the name. I can go in and look at the records. And I was actually an interpreter for the 7th Cavalry out there. I can go into the records and see the name that they gave me in the historical records of the 7th Cav. So when it comes to being convinced about reincarnation, I'm beyond 100%.
So Barry, you were reincarnated, so you're not there among those spirits that are still there at Gettysburg. Well, how come they're still there? Once you pass over, there's no time on the other side. So there's really no rush for them to move on. And actually, they're still fighting out there. I asked them, I said, "Why don't you guys move on and move ahead?" And the answer was, "Well, those damn Yankees are still over there. We can't leave till they do." So it's all different on the other side. There's actually a channel of the unknowing that I've channeled with spirits that didn't even realize they had passed. So there's many idiosyncrasies to the spirit world that are out there to learn. I wrote about a lot of them in my Afterlife book. I actually have a chapter dedicated to the channel of the unknowing dead in that book. So we've covered a ton of information through the years since I got started in this. Oh, that would be a great show to do, Life After Death. I'd like to do one of those shows with you.
Okay.
All right. So now is it Moo or Mao? What do you call them? Moo or Mao?
Well, it's Moo.
Moo. Okay.
Actually, his real name, he told us one time, he said, "Well, just for the record, my real name was Montevore, but I like to be called Moo." So, in the 2 books that I used his channeled information, I always referred to him as Moo.
Oh. Are you still in communication with Moo?
No, I tried to getting back because I've done a couple other UFO shows and I wanted to try live channeling. But he is actually, when he came through for us the first time, he said, "I will be with you. I will stay with you for 2 to 3 years until we get these books done. But then I'll be leaving you because I've got a mission I have to go on." So he's out there. He may have reincarnated. Once he reincarnated, we lose contact with him. But I asked the guys last night if it would be possible to contact him, and they said no, we can't get him back for you.
Oh, it's too. Did you describe Moo to the viewers?
Moo was a blue alien, stood 7.5 feet, had a big head. He lived on a planet called Robe, R-O-B-B-E. It's on the far wing of the Milky Way, and on Moo's planet, he worships the same God that we do here on Earth. And on his planet, God sent his son to them, and they actually have a celebration similar to our Christmas, where they celebrate. On his planet, they call him the Wise One. And blue aliens are very, very advanced, so they all get along. They're not worried about this mutual destruction crap. And he was actually on their planet 4,000 of our years ago. But he was quite a guy.
Did you ever ask Moo about? Okay, you described how tall he was, but do they have skin like us? Do they wear bodysuits? Do they eat? Do they take showers? Do they grow their food? How do they eat? Did you ask him any of those questions?
Oh yeah. No, he does. He has kind of a skin covering. He doesn't wear clothes. They ingest their food differently than we do. He doesn't really. They have an ingestion situation. On his planet, they breathe nitrogen. One thing, humans are so naive. They're looking for planets similar to Earth because they think that all beings are going to be like humans. Well, humans only exist here on Earth. There are some planets that have some similar life types, but the humans, they're simply only residents of our Earth.
And do they get married? Do they have families?
Yes, there's a 4-to-1 ratio on his planet because the planet's the size of Jupiter, but there's a scarcity, and it's kind of a harsh planet, so they live mostly underground. There's a 4-to-1 ratio, 1 male to 4 females on his planet, and they do marry, and they obviously have multiple wives, and everything is laid out on their planet. Because of the scarce food supplies, they're programmed that they only live around 1,000 of our years. So they're not adults. It takes like 350 years for them to become an adult. And then Mu is when he was alive. Now he died in 1987 of our years. During his lifetime, he actually had several missions here to Earth, observed, actually participated in some abductions, and told us everything that he was allowed to tell us about the alien presence, what takes place, and why we don't know anything about why they're not allowed to talk about their existence.
Why aren't they allowed to talk about it?
Because there is a compact between our world and the consolidation of all the other extraterrestrials that humans are not yet ready to be told. Mu tells us that disclosure is going to start to take place in the year 2020. So we're only about a year and a half away from disclosure. But they have been in communicating with our governments for hundreds of years here, and it's all pretty well laid out. So they're allowed to observe us. They do what we refer to as abductions. They refer to them as educational trips because they try to study humans. And one night I asked him, what do you study? And he said, we're trying to figure out how many ways you humans are trying to kill yourselves. So they also have the ability to heal, and sometimes when they take a person, they'll do a healing for them while they've got them on the ship. And that's why you often see some of these miracle healings, because the people never realize that they've been taken. Now, Connie was actually an abductee. She was taken, and we know her story. So she has no memory of it, but she had a time lapse that she couldn't figure out what happened, and apparently she's been on trips a couple times with them.
But there are other aliens that abduct humans.
Oh yeah, they work together. We asked Moo, in my universe book, we have a chapter devoted to the different types of vehicles that they use. They have a huge spaceship. It's the size of the United States. At the time that I was writing that book, they had it parked behind Saturn where nobody could see it. I asked him, I said, how many different alien types are on that ship? And he said over 250 different types of aliens are on there.
And they all get along?
And they all work together.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Well, what about like these so-called lizard people that are supposed to be the evil of the aliens?
Who says they're evil?
Oh, they're not?
No.
I heard they were evil. They were the bad aliens.
They have taught most of what humans, the great advances that humans have made through the years, have been taught by the alien presence. I mean, God actually uses these aliens to try to help humans evolve. A lot of our technologies, the wheel that was invented in Mesopotamia, they had alien help for that. The Egyptians had alien help. The Nazca lines in Peru were built by aliens. They've been with us. Mu told us that the aliens started to visit our planet at the time of the dinosaurs. So that was 60 to 80 million years ago. They've been traveling here. And the book that I'm writing right now, we're channeling Jesus live now. And I asked him to tell us, he tried to tell us the role that extraterrestrials played in evolution. And he says, I have sent people from my other planets to help since the inception of humans. Humans have been here about 250,000 years.
In the beginning when you were writing your books, was it Mu that helped you write these books?
Yeah, in the beginning, that some of our master guides gave us information. But then once Mu came through, they stepped back, and basically we would just talk to him about the information.
Now, you also stated, you also said before that, or in your book, that God had incarnated life on his planet, and
yes,
they celebrate his birth on the planet as we celebrate Christmas. Can you explain that to us?
Well, they tell us that God has sent his presence to all of the intelligent planets throughout time. Now, keep in mind that there's planets out there that have been there for millions of years, so he's had a lot of time to do this. All the planets in the Milky Way are under the auspices of the same God we are. So he is the God of all those other planets. Each other planet has its own heaven, and the people, when they die on those planets, they go to their heaven. We actually, once we've passed, our souls actually have the opportunity to travel and go other places. And when it comes time to make up your life plan, you have the ability, if you don't want to come back here on Earth, you don't have to do it. You can go to another planet. Inside the Milky Way, that is. Because each galaxy has its own God.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll talk about that. That comes from, I want to talk about that. There's a chapter 4 in this book, Galaxy of the Gods, and that's what I had named the show. And we'll talk about that after. I'll ask you a couple questions out of there. Now you also said that you also say that aliens have helped in the evolution of humans.
Oh yeah, they played a huge role. Almost every great civilization has had alien help. There's even references in the Bible to aliens. Ezekiel's wheel, for instance, is the best that the ancients could use, best way that they could describe what they were seeing. There's even, in Egypt, there's a beam carving that shows what looks like our modern airplane and helicopters on it. So, aliens have been instrumental in helping the evolution of humans.
When was the earliest recorded visitors?
The earliest recording that I've been able to find, and they're finding new stuff all the time now, but there's a cave painting in France that dates to 17,000 years before Christ. There's another one in Italy that shows two guys, and they're basically in spacesuits. It was a cave painting, and it dates to 10,000 years before Christ. So the very early ancient humans had interactions back, 30,000 years ago before today.
Okay. Let's see. What parts of the world is there evidence of ancient aliens?
Well, actually, you can find it in almost every country. Those examples I gave you were France, Italy, Algeria. They got paintings that date back to 6,000 BC. Thailand's got some magnificent petroglyphs. They're 2,000 to 3,000 years BC. And we have wonderful petroglyphs in western United States that show an alien presence. They were mainly done by the Anasazi Indians out there. And I've seen a lot of these personally since, our home is Utah. And those paintings and petroglyphs date to roughly 500 to 1,300 years AD after Christ. The beam I referred to in Egypt is about 2,000 years BC. So almost every country with a recorded civilization has alien presence. South America, Peru is just loaded with examples of extraterrestrial presence down there.
All right, what about Nephilim? Who are they? Were they aliens or fallen angels?
No, they were basically just a large human type. Now right now they're doing a dig down in Antarctica where they are dealing with the skeletal frozen remains of very large humans, and it's very possible that they may actually have examples in the film, but they were keeping that a secret down there. But no, they were just basically large humans.
Yeah, I've had other authors on the show, and they say that they're fallen angels.
There's no such thing as a fallen angel. Angels are only beings of goodness. That's basically the story of Satan being thrown out of heaven. Evil does not exist on the other side. Angels are very specific beings of good, and there's no such thing as a fallen angel.
So what's the background of this Nephilim? Why were they so tall? What were they meant for? Do you know?
Well, they're just different types of evolution. They experimented with different types of human forms. They tried big humans, little humans, and they found out that the big ones just were very, very difficult. If you want to see what the Nephilim look like, think of those stone figures on the Easter Islands. We're told that those are actually that type of being.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what about the Anunnaki of Mesopotamia? Are they aliens?
Yes, they were aliens. They're actually mentioned in the Bible in Deuteronomy, and they brought the wheel and writing and a bunch of it.
Oh my God. There's something wrong with the internet. Hold on.
Yeah, I heard it go beeped a couple times, and that was the end of it.
I don't know if I can get back on. Oh no. Says it's not receiving any data. Oh, I think we're back up. Okay, I think, guys, are we back up? Yeah, I think we're back up.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
I heard a couple beeps, and then it was goodbye.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I don't know if we have. Hey, everybody, we're still here. Do you see us? Hello? Hello? Let's see if Royce. Alright, let me fix this. Yeah, okay. I don't know where everybody is. I'm just going to keep recording. Okay, hold on. Let me fix this. Alright, everybody. Sorry about that. I hope you're still there. Let me fix this. Oh, gosh. Hold on. Oh, here, I gotta fix this full screen. It's still recording, so. Alright. Okay. Alright, hold on. Testing, testing. Okay, guys. Hope you're still here. This is still recording. Oh, I don't know. I'm just going to keep recording. Said it buffered a couple. So Royce, let me know. Can you? Are we up? I can. Looks like we're up. Okay. All Are the chatters back in? I'm still going to record. I'm not going to finish this. I'll have to edit it after. All right, let's go. Okay, so where did we leave off? We were talking about the Anunnaki, and they were very advanced in technology.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That was the Sumerians. That was an amazing culture they had, and it was all because of information that was given to them by extraterrestrials.
Wow. Okay, so let's see. Were there any other references in the Bible?
Yeah, Zechariah describes a flying roll in the air. He even describes how long it was. He talks in terms of cubits, but if you translate it, you'll find out that it was a vehicle roughly 30 foot in length. And it would have been probably a round rocket type ship, 30 foot long, which would have been one of the types of vehicles they would have had back then in that time period.
Okay. Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. All right, now, I know. Okay, so you had mentioned the Nazca line of Peru. What's that all about?
Well, the Nazca lines are incredible formations. There's this big flat area down in Peru. Covers almost 300 square miles. And you have to be in the air to see these figures. But there's all kinds of different figures that are drawn. For instance, there's a monkey, there's a hummingbird, there's a big spider. There's all kinds of different shapes. On the side, one of the side hills, there's even what looks like a man in a spacesuit. But these things are absolutely gigantic. I mean, like miles long in the different shapes, and they have to be seen from an airplane. So there's absolutely no way that the natives of Peru could have had the wherewithal to form these things without somebody from overhead giving advice or doing it. It's well worthwhile going online and going to Google and putting in Nazca and AZCA lines and just look at it. They're absolutely amazing. And when we were talking to Moo, we asked him what the different types of formations look like, and he gave us answers for it, some of which probably wouldn't want to know. But they're absolutely amazing, and there is no way those people could have ever put these forms together.
Oh, I wish I had a picture of it. I didn't think about Googling that. Geez,
you can actually go into Google Maps and see it.
Wow.
And I have a lot of, in my book, I have a lot of pictures of it in the first Aliens Among Us book.
Oh, I don't have that book. Oh, that's too bad. I would have liked to have seen that and shown the viewers. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Okay, so what about crop circles?
Crop circles have been around for a very, very long time. I actually found an early English woodcut that dated to 1678 that showed a crop circle. The English of those days referred to them as mowing devils because they had absolutely no understanding of what a crop circle was. There's many fakes of crop circles, but there's also a bunch of real ones, and they basically leave messages through them. And one night I asked him, I said, "Why do you guys leave crop circles?" And his answer was, "Because we love to mess with you humans."
Oh.
And it's a pretty effective way to mess with us.
Now, there's different kind of crop circles where they have all these different forms and circles. And is there a meaning with all those forms that they put into the grasses, into the crops?
Yeah, the extraterrestrials understand it. I don't understand a lot of what it stands for. But yes, they all have meanings.
So but you said, okay, they said that there's a message, but what kind of a message are they trying to give humans?
The messages aren't intended for humans; they're intended for the other extraterrestrials.
Oh, well, so when they look down, they can see it?
Correct. Yes.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
It's a little bit like the old Kilroy was here during World War II. Yeah, he wrote his name everywhere during the war. Similar.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about in this book here that Barry has, channeling the life of Jesus. There's a chapter 4, God of the Galaxy, and I want to ask Barry a little bit about this chapter. So on the first page of the chapter, you say the energy of God has been around since before the creation of the universe, and Earth has been around for 3.8 billion years, and humans have been on Earth for around 200,000 years, and I think you already said that. So, and then you said that humans are relative newcomers to the intelligent life throughout the galaxy, and it also means that soul energies that are now humans spend a lot of time on planets other than Earth. Explain that.
Well, for 10 billion years, soul energies existed before Earth even existed. And our God was present during that whole period of time, and he was evolving other planets. And on those other planets, the souls reincarnated. They led incarnate life on those other planets. They learned the lessons. They helped those civilizations advance. And if you are born, you will die. That's pretty inevitable. That is a universal law of the universe. And when we talk to the spirits, they actually tell us that death is the beginning of a cycle. We humans think of death as the end of the cycle. But when that soul returns back to the other side, it commences another whole cycle of laying out life plans, deciding what it has to learn, and trying to advance in the realms over there. So that soul energy was somewhere. When you look at the fraction of time that humans have walked the earth, it is like 1,000th of the time that Earth has existed. So your soul, when Jesus spoke of everlasting life, he was speaking of the everlasting soul energy, because your soul energy will neither die, it will just continue to go on. You could decide what you want to do with it when you're on the other side. You can come back, you can stay over. If you're satisfied with the realm that you've obtained, have at it. You don't have to come back. But if you want to continue to advance and try to make it to the 7th level, then you have to do millions of lifetimes to learn and to try to become more like God. All of the residents of the upper level are on the same level as God, and they have learned their lessons. And even though they obtain that level, they can rise through those. Just because you make a level, then you have to work your way through that level to go into the next one. So even though you make that 7th level, you still come back and try to serve God in an effort to try to make your soul rise even further in that level. And you're always trying to become more like God. That is the role of every soul.
Okay, so all galaxies have a God, and each galaxy has their own laws. So they're all okay.
That is correct. And I asked him to try to give me some examples of the rules of the other gods, and he said there is no way that humans are capable of understanding that, because there's emotions you've never felt. There are images you've never seen, and it's just there is actually no way that he can describe what is going on, because the universe is so complex with all the different things that are on all these different planets.
And you had talked about this earlier, about the extraterrestrial disclosure, that will happen in 2020. Now, why 2020?
Things are taking place right now that are laying the foundation for it. The rapid growth of our technologies are making it almost impossible to keep it a secret much longer. Our aircraft are starting to get them on, are taking pictures of them on their radar systems. Pilots have been seeing them since they started to fly. There are more and more events taking place, and in order for us to progress, it's time for them to come forward, and when they come forward, they can be more open in helping us with our technologies. Mm-hmm. So for us to really advance, we are so far down the totem pole in our technologies. I mean, people fear, they have this great fear of aliens. Well, trust me, if the aliens wanted us gone, we'd be gone by now, because they have incredible technologies that we have never even conceived of.
So why aren't they helping us with technology to move forward?
They are. But there's a limit to what they can do until they're fully disclosed and work with us as partners.
And in this chapter 4, you state that all of this is part of a plan. What plan are you referring to?
The plan is the hope of God that humans can advance to the point that they travel the stars and become part of the galactic coalition. All of the other people in our galaxy have learned the fallacy of mutual destruction. They have such great force available to them that they could wipe out total cultures. So they've learned to work together. Some of them are a little more nasty than others, but essentially everybody gets along out there. It is only on our younger planets, and we're not the only young planet. There's other planets with very young cultures on them. And humans have been given one of the shortest life terms in our galaxy. I think the reason for that is they only give us so much time to screw up. But as we advance, our lifespans will also advance as we cure these illnesses and gain enough knowledge that we can get along with everybody, and then they'll let us live longer.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we have a couple of questions for you? Anything you want to add?
No, the most important thing is that we have nothing to fear from the aliens. They're friendly. They have been living among us for hundreds of years. There are people here that are children of aliens that don't even realize it. Palladians, for instance, look the same as we do. They are shapeshifters. When Connie was abducted, they put a shapeshifter in her car and drove her car up I-95 in Florida for about 20 miles, and then put her back in the car and pulled the shapeshifter out, and they brought her to, and she wondered how she was 3 exits further north on I-95.
Wow.
So there are aliens. There are truly aliens among us, and that's why I named the book what we did.
All right, so there's a question here from Mirza Arif. Do you think we travel to other planets in our dreams when we sleep? Also, as the mind is a very structured subconscious machine, do you think some past life experience are misunderstood?
Oh, of course. A lot of things take place in your dreams. Now, I have actually astro-tripped, where I've had out-of-body experiences, and it's really quite amazing. I didn't go to another planet or anything, but I went out, I visited friends on the West Coast, checked in on the kids in Florida, checked in on my father-in-law in Pennsylvania, and then I started to think, I wonder how you get back, and all of a sudden I came to, and I was back. But, and as it turned out, everything that I saw was real. When I went back, and I actually called the people I went and checked with, and they were actually doing what I was watching them doing. So you can have out-of-body experiences. It's a very real thing.
Okay, so from Nellie Moen, What do you think about Bigfoot or any other elementals?
Bigfoot is a multidimensional creature. They live like on this doorway between dimensions, and they fear humans. So when they see humans, they just drop back into that unseen dimension. When they die, they drag the bodies back through that dimension. That's why none has ever been seen. But Bigfoot are very real, but they're just simply multidimensional.
Let's see. Whoops. Kill Switch 489. Did Moo tell you anything about the Galactic Federation?
Oh yeah, I have a whole chapter on it in the book.
Which book is that?
Aliens Among Us. And I think I have a chapter on it in my conspiracy book as well.
Let's see, these are the books. Okay, guys, I'm showing you the books here. And like I said, you can get these all on Amazon. That's easy that way, and you can also get them off of Barry's website. What's your website again, Barry?
The easiest is spiritspredict.com to find, and just go to the book page, and you can order books there. And it's the only place you can get personalized copy for whatever that's worth.
All right, let's see. Hold on. Oh, well, did you want to talk about the Galactic Federation at all?
It's an association of all the intelligent planets. They have very strict laws for aliens that want to visit Earth. They don't let them. They have definite rules that they have to follow, that they cannot interfere with our evolution. Some of them are sent back to hell. Some of them are come back with technologies they want us to learn. But it's a very well-oiled machine. The entire galaxy gets along. They've had an agreement with our country for hundreds of years, and Moo actually explains all of that in the book.
Okay, there's another question from Lori Miller. Now, she said the crop circle said not to trust grays. Are they bad?
No. And I don't think anybody really knows what a crop circle says. Only the extraterrestrials know that, unless you have one of them talking to you and translating. Grays actually, their home planet has been destroyed through natural processes, just like someday Earth is going to die. And that's why it's important that we progress, so we can travel the stars, so that we can maintain our civilization on another planet. There will be a time that life cannot exist on Earth, and that happened to the Greys, so they really have no home.
All right, and another question from Unique Annie, one of our mods. Hi, Annie. Barry, have you decided to reincarnate after this lifetime, and where?
I am told that I have 2 life plans ahead of me already laid out, and I do not know what they are, but apparently I'm going to be coming back fairly rapidly.
From Kenny Richardson, are there any half-human alien life forms?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm not saying they don't exist.
Okay, let's see. What else? Do we have any other questions? Oh, from Reed Shoup, does Bigfoot possess technology?
No, they're a more primitive form. They have very little technologies, but their greatest ability is being interdimensional.
Thayer is saying that in dreams that they go to, and they have vivid dreams and detailed places that I never saw before. Did I really visit these places in another life?
That's hard to say, but in all probability, yes. Your prior lives have an absolutely amazing influence on your current lives. For instance, I have my prior life in Gettysburg. I've always been drawn to there. I've always had the love for Indian culture, and the West, and that was from my life as a Lakota Sioux. And I have other lifetimes as well that have a lot of influence. I've had military lives, and I've always been very, very interested in firearms and shooting. I used to shoot competitively. So, I mean, your prior lives have a huge influence on your current life.
They do, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And not only that, but your prior life karmas affect your life plan. So if you have things you have to learn that you haven't learned, or if you've done, it's possible that you've done some evil things that you will have to suffer for in this lifetime. So there's a lot goes into it, but karma is very, very real.
So when these people die that have bad karma, what happens to them?
When a person dies, you go over and you are judged by your guides. There are forgivable sins and there are unforgivable sins. Basically, if you hurt others, take innocent lives, you're creating unforgivable sins. The degree of that will determine how much you're demoted. If you lead a good life in service of God, then you will move ahead into that realm that you're in. So it's the first thing you do when you get over is you judge yourself, and they check to see, whether you understand that you did these bad things, and they will weigh whether just how bad you were in that lifetime. And if you were really evil, they can send you to the lower level, where it's an area of nothingness. And you're down there until you decide in your heart that you understand what you did, and at some point God lets you back out. And then you start over again, because now you're in the lowest realm. So you've got all these lessons to relearn. So everybody should think about how they're leading their lives, because karma is absolutely real.
Okay, another question. Okay, from I Am Alpha. Question: are Greek gods real?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Short answer.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go after no,
Okay, let's see. From Tina Kelly, why do aliens take us?
They're studying us. As I said, Mu told us they're trying to figure out how many ways humans are trying to kill themselves. They're studying humans so that they can try to inform us and change life patterns, have the guides influence us. And if you have some kind of an illness, quite often when they take you, they will cure that illness. And that's why you see a lot of these miracle cures that are unexplainable. They're often the result of an abduction.
Barry, also, I understand that when people have been abducted, they come back with gifts they didn't have before, like being psychic and being able to see spirit. They didn't have that before they were abducted. Why? Evidently, it's coming from the alien. Why do they give them that gift?
Well, that's probably part of their life plan, and they haven't been able to accomplish it. So the aliens take them, do what they need to do to give them that gift so that they can proceed with their life plan.
All right, Lori Miller wants to know, you're aware of the Missing 411, those books from David Pilates, all these missing people, and mostly from national forests?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lori wants to know, Missing 411, what's going on?
We tried to check on what's going on with a lot of the disappearances, and they said a lot of that were kidnappings for slave trade and things like that. Occasionally, they are abductions. Generally, it's very rare that they take somebody that they don't bring them back. But most of it is, they think most of that is actually natural occurrences.
Well, there was an instance that we did a show on where this girl went to Yosemite, and I'll never go to Yosemite again. That Yosemite is a hot spot for disappearances. She went with her father. They were on horseback. They wanted to take a rest. So there was, I think, several of them in the group, 4 or 5 in the group. And so they got off their horses, and there was campers right there, and they decided to relax a little bit before they started further on. And so this young girl had her camera with her, and she said, "Dad, I'm going to go over to that rock where that man is sitting, and I'm going to take some pictures." And so he said, okay, So she walked over, and she was talking with this man on the rock, and she took her camera and she went down a little bit from the rock, and there was water there. And that was the last time they ever saw her. The father went looking for her, and the man told her, well, she was just there taking a picture, and her camera was there, but she was gone. She completely disappeared.
Well, that was probably an abduction.
So when they abduct these people, nobody sees it. They just poof, go?
That's how it works. They travel. Aliens travel great distances through molecular teleportation. For instance, if using our current technology, if we were to travel to the nearest star, it would take 42,000 years. I asked Moo how long it takes him to travel from his place on the furthest wing of the Milky Way, and he said 2 days. So there are technologies out there, and that's basically how it works. It's like a beam me up, Scotty. But it's just like poof to poof. It's just like,
wow.
But that's how they do it.
Yeah, I think they're suggesting that it's Bigfoot that are taking these people.
I've never heard anything like that. The Bigfoot are basically just very peaceful, want to be left alone.
Okay. There's been oh God, I've heard or read. I think I read on the internet that some Bigfoot are mean, and they actually eat humans. I've read that they eat humans.
Well, if you read it, it must be so.
Yeah, when you read on the internet.
Yeah, buddy.
It must be. Okay. Let's see. We have some more questions here. Okay. I am Alpha question. Have there been time travelers changing our timeline?
They won't let you change the timeline, but there are people that have accidentally time traveled. Some people get into wormholes, and it takes them out. But when you get into a wormhole, you actually time travel.
Okay. J.D. Bambara, what's the best way to live our lives now according to them?
They live their lives according to God's commands. And it's very simple. Lead a good life of love, love others, and love should be returned to you. If you harm others, then you will be harmed as well and judged for it. So it's you lead a very simple life. That's all. That's really when Jesus walked the earth, he taught a very, very simple lesson of love. It was not complicated. He spoke to the poor and uneducated. He never spoke of fear, never spoke of hell. He spoke a simple life that if you lived a good life, you would join him in heaven. That was basically what he preached when he walked the earth. So it's very simple. If you want to progress, don't mess with anybody.
You know, Barry, I found a saying on the internet about if you want something really bad, that you talk to the universe. and you think in your mind what you want, and you ask the universe for this particular thing that you want. And then if you keep thinking this and you keep picturing it in your mind, that eventually it happens.
Well, probably not quite like that. They hear every word of prayer. I have had the guides repeat exactly what I prayed for the night before. So if you continuously pray to your guides, and if it is part of your life plan, they will help influence and do what they can to make the event take place. If what you are asking for is far outside your life plan, will harm others, you are not. You can think about it all you want, but you might be able to accomplish that with your free will, but it's not going to be through any supernatural activity.
Okay. Okay, hi on Emmy. What alien is using us for dissecting?
For dissecting?
Yeah.
None that I'm aware of. They will do their types of advanced surgeries, but they have no need to dissect to know. I mean, they brought us the MRI machine. They have machines up there that there's no need to dissect.
Okay. From Carl Mendez, Barry, think the government, is the government hiding aliens from us?
Of course. They have been for years. Roswell was very real. There's your classic example.
I am Alpha. Question, do the abductees ever return years ahead of time, like 60 years or plus?
Not that I'm aware of. But when Connie was taken, she lost like an hour.
Yeah, that's what they say usually happens.
Mm-hmm.
You lose time. Okay, from Cassandra, one of our mods. How do you explain the Mandela effect?
I can't. I'm not. Mandela effect, I've tried to find out about, and I've never gotten any good direct answers on.
So, and Mike Williams wanted to know, is it real?
I think I can't answer that one. That one I've never really investigated to the extent.
Well, I've experienced the Mandela effect, and a lot of people have. It's like like sayings, you know, and like Zippy peanut butter. Was it? Oh, Jiffy peanut butter. They say it's Jif, but I swear it says Jiffy. And that's all I've ever known, Jiffy peanut butter, but they say it's really Jif. But yet we know it is Jiffy. And this mirror on the wall with the Snow White, that's and also that all changed, and also the Lord's Prayer has changed. So, and I was brought up Catholic, and I know the Lord's Prayer by heart, and they've changed a few things in the Lord's Prayer. So I do think that we do experience the Mandela effect. It's not that you know, it's just a couple of things, you know, that happens in our lifetime, but to other people it happens a lot, I guess, because I did a show on the Mandela effect, and
it's not something I've ever really questioned that much or paid that much attention to.
No, it's a weird, it's strange.
Yeah, I got enough strange things in my life about the Mandela effect.
Okay, and Ginny wants to know, what was the Phoenix Lights all about?
Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
They were real. Just the same as lights over Washington. Those were very real as well.
And Anita Ackerman, are the aliens collaborating with the military complex?
Yes, that's been going on for quite a while. They actually were instrumental in us developing the atom bomb to end World War II.
Oh, that's right. Somebody had a question about World War II. Gosh, I saw it and I missed it. Kenny Richardson, is there any war with the aliens?
No.
And then somebody did ask a question, were there any aliens involved in World War II?
Yes. Actually, in 1938, there was a crash in Bavaria, and there were like 20 aliens. And they actually helped Hitler create his rocket technology, because they didn't realize at the time just what he wanted to use it for. I have a chapter in my conspiracy book about that, of how rapidly Germany advanced. And for about 6 months, they gave German technology, and that's how they went to this incredibly rapid advance in their rocketry.
All right, and Lori Miller is saying, why does Jesus say only through me? What about those that don't know Jesus?
Well, first of all, you're making the assumption that he said that. The truth is, nobody actually knows what Jesus said. Nobody took notes when Jesus walks the earth, and the first writings aren't until 2 generations after he passes. So every word that you see appearing in the Bible is taken from hearsay and from people's memories. In addition, if you think that's not correct, I'll take an example of something simply like "thou shalt not kill." Well, "thou shalt" is Old English, and I can guarantee you Jesus never spoke Old English. He spoke Aramaic. So, you got to accept the Gospels are a guide, but to say that each statement is exactly what Jesus said, nobody really knows exactly what Jesus said. Now, that might shake some people up, but that's the way it is.
Okay, and Mike Williams, is time travel possible besides through wormholes?
It is possible through abductions, but mainly through wormholes. They fight at the end of World War II. We had a flight of torpedo bombers disappeared out of Florida on a training mission that were never seen, and they actually had flew into a wormhole, and it took them out to sea, and they just didn't have the gas to get back. There have been quite a few examples of people getting trapped in wormholes.
Okay. Let's see if we have any more questions. Let's see. Hi on Emmy. Then who is cutting into animals and people, then leaving their bodies on Earth?
Well, they are cutting into animals for their research. So that is taking place, but I'm not aware of humans that have been chopped up and left by aliens. Now, the rules have changed. What took place in abductions 50, 60 years ago is different from what takes place today.
Yeah, it has changed.
Mm-hmm.
From Patriot Pep. What do you know about the Nazi secret space program, aka Dark Fleet?
Well, they had a very active space program. As a matter of fact, Werner von Braun was arrested by the SS because he was spending too much time on their space program and not on their weaponry. So, no, they had a very active space program, and it was initiated by those aliens in that crash that I described earlier. They would have, the aliens got their ship fixed and got out of Dodge and stopped helping them, or it would have been a much different story during World War II. When they realized what was going on, they stopped helping them and switched over and helped us formulate the atom bomb.
Wow. Oh gosh, Barry. There's another show I want to do with you because I know you channel, and we had talked about this and I haven't scheduled it yet. I guess I'll have to wait till next year. On the deaths, oh God. We talked about this, about Natalie Wood, all those that had died mysteriously. And I want to do a show on it. You wrote Conspiracies, right?
Well, I wrote a book on conspiracies, and we started to write a book on unsolved crimes.
What happened?
Well, the guides told us that they didn't want us to do it. They stopped giving me the information. We got through about 5 or 6 different crimes, and then they said, your role is you need to write about other subjects. And that was when we started getting into the Holy Spirits and and the other books.
Oh gosh.
We did do the Natalie Wood thing. So I mean, we did. That was one of the crimes that they did give us information on.
Yeah, I remember asking you about that. I can't remember what you said though. Was it the captain?
Boat captain.
The boat captain did it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. And you also did John F. Kennedy, JFK, and you did Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what book was that from?
The Lincoln story was in the conspiracy book. That was actually turns out to be a John Wilkes Booth conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because he was not killed in Virginia. He doesn't die until 1903.
Okay, so I want to do a show on that. I love that. So because the spirits, well, that's how you would get your answers, your spirit guides, because without them you wouldn't get the answers of what happened to these people.
No, and sometimes we talk to the actual spirits. In the conspiracy book, the majority of it comes from us channeling the individuals that lives the experience.
Oh my God. So you can, okay, so if I asked you about someone, you could channel them and
if they're available. If they were evil and they're in that lower level, we can't touch them.
Did you ever ask about Jack the Ripper, who the Jack the Ripper was? You know,
yeah.
they said there was an article, and I had posted that they know now who Jack the Ripper was, but I can't remember the man's name, and they have a sketch of him.
Well, they gave me the name of Jack the Ripper. I have his name.
Okay, are you allowed to say it?
I don't remember what it was. I have it written down. I actually wrote the chapter on Jack the Ripper.
Oh God, you know, I would love to find out and compare to what was what they said on the internet who it was. Let's see.
Well, I don't think they're accurate on it. They described the guy, and when the heat was on, he actually goes to France and gets the police actually I can't remember the guy's name. I have trouble remembering my own name right now. But the police actually interview him and have no idea that he is the Ripper. And after he's interviewed, he leaves, gets out of England and goes to France, commits a couple crimes over there, and then dies. So.
All right, wait a minute. I'm looking it up. Who was Jack the Ripper? Yeah, but gosh, who? I posted it on. Oh yeah, it was an Aaron Kosminski. They said was Jack the Ripper.
It wasn't Kosminski.
Let's see. They even put it in Wikipedia. Let's see. Aaron Kosminski was a Polish barber and suspect in Jack the Ripper case. Let me see if I can get his picture.
No, he wasn't. He was a suspect. He was one of the suspects, but he was not the Ripper.
Oh yeah,
it's not a common name. Nobody ever suspected this guy.
And you don't remember who it was?
No, I have it written down in my. I have it on my computer because I have the story written. But and they gave us the same name on a couple different nights to verify it. So. Oh,
really?
Mm-hmm.
Was he a suspect, or this? Oh, this. It's so nobody mentioned his name. It's one that nobody mentioned.
Correct. He was actually questioned by the police, but they figured it wasn't him, and they let him go. And that was when he left England, and that was when it ended.
Let's see, and What about, oh yeah, Herman Mudgett. Okay, so you know the story about Herman Mudgett, the H.H. Holmes serial killer that he built this castle in Chicago, and the very first, oh my God, it was a fair. What did they call it? State Fair?
World's Fair.
World's Fair was in Chicago, and I think it was like 1913, I think. And this Herman...
There was 1904.
1904, okay. And Herman Mudgett, H.H. Holmes, had built this castle, and it was a torture castle. He had many levels, and he built this on purpose to kill these people that were coming to the fair, and I don't know why I'm asking you about that. Somebody had mentioned it. He was.
No, I'm not familiar with this one.
You're not familiar with the case? Well, they hung him. But see, Jeff Mudgett, the great-great-great-great-grandson, believes that H.H. Holmes was Jack the Ripper because he supposedly was in London at the time that these Jack the Ripper murders took place.
It wasn't Holmes.
No, okay. Okay.
Oh, there's a ton of theories.
Oh my God, I know. And what about the Black Dahlia? Now, the Black Dahlia...
They would not let me do that. One thing they'll not let me do is get involved with any evil spirits. And they would not give me any information on that one.
Oh, really? That one was really bad. I mean, that was really a terrible case. The son, who was in the police department, I think he was a police detective, and I forget his name, said his father, George, was a doctor, and that it was his father that had killed her, and I don't remember the last name. He said it was, and he wrote a book. He said his father was the one that killed her. What about JFK? Now, I had seen a show that it wasn't Oswald, that there was two other killers.
It was not Oswald.
Yeah, there was two of them.
No, there was actually more. There were backup shooters there as well. But there were two kill shots. The first kill shot came from the roof of the building over top of the 6th floor on the book depository. And that was killed by a guy by the name of Sturgis. That was fired by Sturgis. And there was a second shot that came from the grassy knoll that hit him. And that was fired by Howard Hunt. And Hunt actually makes a deathbed confession before he dies to it.
Oh yeah, it was George Hodel. The father was George Hodel. Connected to the Black Dahlia. Do you know the case of Elisa Lam? The girl that was visiting, I believe she was visiting from Canada, and she came to Los Angeles, I guess to sightsee. And she was in an elevator. I guess she was going back to her hotel, and they have a video on YouTube, a very strange video that she was in the elevator, and the doors opened, and when she got out, she acted very strange, and she disappeared. They don't know what happened to her. And then, I don't know how soon, a week later or whatever, they found her body up in this, those big things where they collect water, and she was inside of it. And they would have had to climb up these little narrow stairs and really reach over to get her body into this big thing that had water in it. And I think what happened was the hotel, they were getting the water coming out of the faucets. I don't know if there was blood in it, but it wasn't pure. I think that's how they finally discovered to look in this water thing that they have at the hotel. Do you know anything about Elisa Lam?
No, we haven't done that one.
Oh, okay. Hey guys, anybody that you want me to ask Barry about? Tallcross, he said that they say Bush Snare, SNR, was involved in the JFK assassination.
There were 6 people involved. I didn't name everybody.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, so it was a water cisterine. Thank you, B3 Airspace. I can't always think. The water pressure was low, yeah, because the body was in there. Oh, Z wants to know, Barry, is Barry an alien hybrid?
I have alien blood, yes.
And how did you find that out?
They told us.
Really?
That would caught you off guard, didn't it?
So they told you. Wow. So how far back?
They didn't go into great detail about it, but a lot of people have alien blood. It's not a big deal.
No. Well, and then what about women that have these hybrids? I forget, what do they call them, Barry? They're star people. What about star people?
I don't know.
It's a human mother with an alien, the bred with an alien.
Well, I never heard referred to as that, but Palladians are having babies all the time. I know a person that's a Palladian. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I do know a person that is a Palladian.
Okay, so what is a Palladium?
A Palladian is a type of alien. They look exactly like humans.
And how, why do they look like humans?
Why not?
But how? I mean, was that how they? I mean, so they were.
They're shapeshifters.
Oh. Well, no, I'm talking about real star people.
Well, that's a real star. What do you want?
No, I'm talking about the ones that I know. Okay. They're human. Okay, they're us. They're just like us. It's a human woman.
They're just.
But it's a human woman that had a baby by an alien, and they're different looking from us. They look different from us. And the one that I met, she was pale like an albino. She was just different. No?
Well, people say I'm different, so.
So there's no such thing as a star person?
I'm not familiar with it. No, I do know that they're shapeshifters, and I do know that there are Palladians that are among us. I'm sure there's other types as well that have shifted shapes.
What about, Ginny wants to know about the West Memphis 3. Are you familiar with that case?
I had it on my list to research, but then they got me off of it before I got to it.
Oh my God. What about Princess Diana?
No, I do know about that. I wrote about it in a conspiracy book.
Well, will you tell us?
Yes, she was killed.
But yeah, okay, yeah. But was there? Okay, but they said that she didn't die there. It wasn't.
She died
in the ambulance on the way to the hospital.
Yeah, she died there.
Okay, so is there a conspiracy behind it? Who was it?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the conspiracy?
Trying to get me killed, aren't you?
No, I'm not, Barry. But nobody, they're not watching my show. So go ahead, tell us.
Well, who do you think was behind it?
Queen of England.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of England.
Let's just say it came from the highest levels.
They wanted her killed. But why? Why she didn't like Princess Diana? She didn't like what she was doing?
No, she didn't like the Muslim thing.
Oh, I understand. I had read that that was all a fixed marriage. That he had to marry Princess Diana to have heirs to the throne. And
Yeah, he never wanted to marry her.
no, that's what I read. He never wanted to marry her. His true love was who he finally married when Princess Diana got killed. Okay, what about John Bonet?
It's killed by a neighbor.
Okay, was it a neighbor or was it a handyman that used to do work around the house?
They told me it was a neighbor.
A neighbor. Why did the neighbor kill her?
You're talking about things that I did 3-4 years ago.
Well, try and remember.
Try and remember. Tell my head that. I don't remember the motive. I know they told me at the time what it was, but I just don't remember. But I do remember they said it was a neighbor.
And why in the world would they pick Christmas night? Why? And how did they... Oh, they got in through that window that was in the basement. Now, I just found out that they cleared the mother, that she did not write that note, even though it was said that all the handwriting pointed to the mother. It matched her handwriting, but they said they proved...
No, she was innocent. She was absolutely innocent.
Let's see, anything else we have in here? Let's see, anything else? Anybody else have any questions? Okay. Anything else, guys? Okay. All right, well, I guess that's it. That was fun. I enjoyed that. But I enjoyed that. Barry, thanks so much. Love having you on the show. It's very interesting when you come on. And
well, I sure have covered a bunch of subjects in my books, I can tell you that. Sometimes I don't even remember what I write.
Anything else you want to say to the viewers while they're still here?
Well, I'd just like to, push my latest book, Spirits Speak, Channeling the Life of Jesus. If you want to know the truth about the life of Jesus, including his married life and children, you can, the book's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, my websites, and basically anywhere books are sold.
Yeah.
Approach it with an open mind. And that book is part of a 3-volume series. The second volume covers messages of Jesus and the disciples and Holy Spirits. That is at the publisher. And the third book that I'm almost finished with covers his teachings. So that is the first volume of a 3-volume series, but it's very interesting. We did some channeling with Mary Magdalene in it. We did some channeling with Mother Mary. They tell the truth of the crucifixion, truth about his birth. It's an interesting book. If you have an open mind and would really like to know what happened, then you can read it all there. If you want to see our live channeling, go to my YouTube channel. It's in my name, Barry Strohm. I think we got like 62 videos of channeling up there. We're doing interviews now with famous people. In addition, we will be doing a session with Mother Mary on a week from Friday, and we'll be posting that up probably on Saturday. But we do a lot of very interesting things. A lot of people say they can speak to the Holy Spirits, but you never see the evidence of them doing it. We're different in that we post videos of all our messages so you can watch them and judge for yourself.
Okay. You do.
That's about it.
Yeah. Now do you do this on Facebook as well?
I do some of the stuff in our Facebook group. We will do the Mary interview on Facebook Live in our Words of God group on Facebook. The members like to participate in it, and we're actually letting the members submit the questions I'm going to ask. Okay. So we're taking questions from our group members. So if there's something that you would like to ask Mother Mary, you can join our group and submit questions, and I will ask him of her a week from Friday.
Wow. Okay, oh dear. Okay, well, Barry, thanks so much for being here tonight. It was a pleasure having you on the show, as always. Very interesting. And good luck with your books.
We did cover a bunch of subjects, I'll say that.
Yeah, we did. Thank you so much. That's what I like. Thank you very much. Good luck with your books. My best wishes to you. Oh, my best wishes to you. Thanks, Barry. Good night. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Good night.
Wow, that was very interesting. Hope you enjoyed the show. Let's see, not next week, but the week after. I think Keith Linder is coming back on the show. He has more evidence that he wants to talk about. His demon house from the Seattle, the demon house from Seattle. So that'll be a great show. Don't forget, not next week, but the week after. And we have our mods tonight. Cassandra 50, Royce Hinman, and Unique Annie. So thanks to the mods for a great chat room that we have. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have the nice chat room. And thanks everyone for being here tonight. It's such a pleasure having you and seeing you in the chat. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you would subscribe, I'd appreciate it. We do have shows every other week. Oh, and listen, got a surprise. In October, Royce, our mod Royce, he's going to join me on a show. And, do you remember the picture he showed us? Oh my God, it was during the Hat Man show. Royce showed us that shadow person that he had captured on one of the images that we had showed during airing one of the shows. It's scary as hell, and that's in the Hat Man video that we just did about a week or so ago. So Royce is gathering up evidence. He's gathering up the pictures, and he's going to show us what he captured in some of these images, and I can't wait to do that show. And Royce is going to, hopefully Royce will do that with me the week before Halloween, I think the 24th. So if he's ready by then, we're on for that, because that'll be a really great show. So again, don't forget to continue your prayers for Royce. He needs them. He needs all your positive healing and positive prayers, okay? And I see that I got some super chat money. Wow, thank you so much. Let's see. Royce, did you? Hi on Emmy. Thank you. Toll Cross. Thanks, honey. Toll Cross is from Scotland. And let's see, who was the other one? There was 3 of them. Who was the other one, Royce, honey? I don't see it. I know there was a 3rd one. I want to thank them so much. And Chippateri, there you are. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Very, very nice of you to do that. Let's see. So let's do some shout-outs, okay? What do we have here, Royce? Anita Ackerman, B3 Airspace, Cassandra 50, Armad, Charms Paranormal, Chippateri, Des Bunny, Fairy Queen, Ginny, High on Emmy, I Am Alpha, J.D. Bambara, Carl Mids, Lori Miller, Mutsa Arf, Sherry Cummings, Stephanie, Susie Farrell, Tall Cross, Z, and Carl White, if you're out there. I know you are. Jenny, let's see. Who else? Sherry Cummings. I Am Alpha. B3 Airspace. Who did I miss? Lori Miller. Who did I miss, Royce? Let me go down to the end. Who did I miss? Let's see, did I miss somebody? Okay, let's see what I got. Raymore Campbell, Thayer, the Haglin. There you are, Haglin. Oh, where's Carl White? I know you're there. Anybody else want to shout out? And thanks for Tallcross. He comes all the way from Scotland, and I know it's really like early in the morning for him. Anybody else want to shout out? Starry Night. Hi, Starry Night. Anybody else want to shout? Kathy Salento. Anybody else? Love Halloween. I love Halloween. Anybody else want to shout out? Charms Paranormal. I got that. Anybody else? Okay, guys. Well, I guess I'm going to go. I don't see any other names. Oh, Dust Bunny. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Well, I guess I'm going to go. You guys have a great weekend. Sorry about the interruption. I don't know what happened. The internet problem wasn't from my end, or else the whole YouTube would have shut down. It was from YouTube, and I don't know what happened. So anyway, I'll just have to I'll have to cut that out. I'll have to edit that part out. All right, everybody. Hey, you know what? Have a great weekend, and say all your prayers for all those that that were killed this weekend, this last couple of days. El Paso and Dayton, Ohio. And then also we had a shooting a week or so ago in California, the Garlic Festival in Gilroy. Very famous festival. Hundreds and hundreds of people go to that festival. And our thoughts and prayers go to the families, and pray for those lost souls. So with that, thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend, and stay safe. Stay safe out there. And I love you guys, okay? Group hug to everybody, and I'll see you not next week, but the week after. Should be another great show. And again, Barry, thank you so much for being on the show. It was a pleasure to have you. Thanks, everybody. I love you. Good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you.